All right, well, thank you guys again for joining us here for Tech Field Day here at Commvault Go. My name is Don Foster. I am the Worldwide Senior Director for Solutions Marketing at Commvault. This is actually my third time in front of you folks. I see a lot of familiar faces. I think the last time that was about 2.5 years ago. So good to get back in front of you guys and have a good open conversation here on the Tech Field Day stage. I do want to give, since it's been a bit since we've been in front of some of you, I want to give a very short, just quick Commvault story, what Commvault's all about, why we have such a large, broad, and expansive show floor, and what we actually cover. I know you guys are probably thinking, great, here comes a marketing story. We'll keep it short and sweet, I promise. And then we'll start to dive into some of the neat technology things that really is allowing us to change the game on really what data protection, data management, and how customers can use their data, all about making them data experts. So we'll touch into hyperscale, how we've been changing and transforming what our data platform is. We'll dive deep into our cloud virtualization solutions, kind of the whole idea of what hybrid IT is, have some good demonstrations to showcase a number of technologies, how we can work with the cloud, migrate workloads, how we can actually work with a number of different hypervisors, et cetera, and give a real deep dive into how our technology works there. We'll then go into our Commvault Active Copy Management, which is sort of our solutions for customers that are looking for true workload portability and copy data management use cases. I know that's kind of a term that's been kicked around in the marketplace for now probably about a better decade or so. And because of our data platform, we've got capabilities there, and it might be somewhat new for some of you folks. We want to highlight really some of the neat and powerful things we're doing. We've got a couple of demos that we'll showcase, one in video format. Actually, we'll show a lift and shift of an entire application, not just a database, but an entire application from an on-premises instance into the cloud. And it talks about some of the cool orchestration things that we're doing. And then finally, we'll give a brief showcase, assuming we have some time, to really touch on how some of the analytic capabilities of our platform are driving smarter decisions for our customers, both on how they find data, but then also on how they can start using that data to be smarter overall with their information. So as always, I know you guys will ask questions. Please do as we go. The interactiveness is great. And like I say, Jonathan will probably be coming up to help kind of go on the whiteboard if we have questions that are off the slides. We can dive into those as deep as we need to. And Deepak will help as well on the whole virtualization and some of the application space as well. So you guys understand Path Remarkable paved data. Here's the Commvault story. And that's kind of where Remarkable also comes from the Commvault Go 2017. And the whole idea here is that we know we see customers doing real remarkable things with data. And in order to do that, they have to become data experts. And part of our story and realization is that because of some of the craziness, the innovation, the disruption that's occurred in the last 15 years, many organizations have lost control. And to be data experts, you've got to regain that control, right? And it all nets out to the fact, and I think you guys, we've all been in IT for a while, we kind of see how this transformation has occurred. 10, 15 years ago, you had a small number of apps, small number of types of data, small sets of infrastructures. And as we've accelerated into the hybrid IT world, that has absolutely grown and magnified in exponential form. And as customers think about how they try to provide a complete solution for that, typically it ends up being a number of point solutions that create data silos, challenges, and problems of truly understanding where data lives, what risk profile you have, and how you can truly use it. So you can't manage complexity with complexity. It obviously just multiplies the problem and the challenge. And that's really where Commvault comes into play. And if you want to be smart in how you can simplify this down, you really need to do 5 basic things. You need to know where your data lives, be able to move it efficiently and effectively, be able to manage it and start to actually manipulate it once you have it stored for whatever the actual use case of recovery or utilization might be able to recover it quickly, not just back to where it came from, but to a different infrastructure, different location, and make sure you can do it en masse. And finally, you've got to be able to use that information. The idea of secondary copies have changed. Backup copies as backup copies is no longer what you need. It's all about taking those secondary copies and enabling them for other IT or business operations use cases. So that's effectively what we've transformed and changed our software to do. We understand all the primary data workloads that are out there. We have some of the broadest support for both new age SaaS apps, apps in Google, apps in, say, Salesforce, Microsoft, all the way down to your traditional Informix, DB2, Oracle, Microsoft databases, and file systems. So we cover the entire gamut, which is important for the enterprise customer. And not only do we cover that, but we also help customers understand and know what they've got, classify it, apply some tagging, and track the smarts of that information and the metadata throughout the life cycle of that information. And by doing so, it means we can be smart and efficient in how we move it. Things like deduplication and encryption and compression, they're table stakes in today's world. But you have to be able to do it from the source when you first touch it, as you move it to truly be efficient, and make sure you're building upon that metadata. And as we do that, we create those copies. And as we create those copies, again, back to the heritage of what we've worked with, we can support whatever infrastructure our customers choose. Even tape, cloud object storage, on-premise object storage, spinning disk, you name it, we've got the support for it. And the benefits of this is we can also then apply the management to port that information from one infrastructure to the next. Not just for secondary copies, but also for the use cases of potentially using it in a dev and test-based environment. So we have the ability to apply the governance and security that you'd expect, ransomware, immune to ransomware on those copies that we create in our back end, making sure that our customers are at least secure and confident that if they get struck on the production side, they have the right company that can help them quickly recover and get that data back, whether it's back on premises, to a cloud, to a service provider, to a DR colo facility. We'll integrate with whatever their BCP and DR plans are to make that happen fast. And of course, the cool thing is because we've got a whole cool set of open APIs, something as simple as FTP access, NFS access into the actual platform itself, it means that you can start to use the data that's being stored there for multiple use cases, multiple reasons. It just really boils down to what operation you're trying to improve, and that allows you to start to really use and gain value out of that data. So that's the quick and simple story on where Commvault has come. It's not just about moving bulks of data and full backups weekly and incrementals and weekly differentials, et cetera. It's about being smart now on how we move fast, small bits of change, keep customers up to date, meet their disaster recovery needs and windows and SLAs, but then ultimately provide more value back on that data back to their line of business. So that's what we're going to dive into today, when really how this strategy has changed our technology, changed how we're focused on solving problems for our customers, and ultimately improve their ability to then work with their business and become more business aligned from an IT aspect. And that strategy basically boils down to innovate on the modern IT infrastructure. Again, backup copies are not just backup copies. Let's think about how we can be smarter and how it scales, how it's utilized, truly embrace the cloud. Now, there was once a thought that the cloud would kill traditional backup. Right? And once you get to the cloud, you don't need backup anymore, right? No, that's not the case at all, and we can probably have a good conversation on that one. And of course, finally, it's to enable those remarkable outcomes.